Hi everyone, my name is Hayden, and in this video I will be, talking over a flight with the Dart XL Extreme Enhanced Edition. So, as you can see, we just took off. Unfortunately, I don't have the OSD footage for the first, probably half of this flight, maybe 3/4. I guess it wasn't recording. I'm glad I caught it because I went pretty far and actually lost signal, which we will see here. But at first, I like to circle around over where I am and just look at the airplane, obviously flying line of sight, and make sure that everything is intact and nothing is falling off of it. I also apologize that there is that little black speck in the bottom right-hand corner. That's a little bit annoying. So sorry about that. As you can see, we're just gaining some altitude here. Kind of cut around a little bit. I cut out the part where I put it into loiter mode to put the goggles on, but now you can see that I put it in 4.5 times speed up mode, just because flying out there is a little bit boring. This entire flight, or most of this flight, was in fly-by-wire A when I climb, because I find that fly-by-wire A, when I'm just flying manually, or semi-manually, is a little bit more efficient than climbing in cruise. However, cruising in cruise mode is actually a little bit more efficient, just because all the tuning and everything that it does is a little bit more accurate. So you can see that we're going out here. Now it's in cruise mode. Once again, sorry, there's no OSD footage. Right around here, the video was cutting out a little bit, which was a little bit annoying. So I just climbed up a little bit. And another thing that's a little bit weird about my goggles is, or about the, FPV system entirely, is that I'm using a Minim OSD running MW OSD. And for some reason, it doesn't get the right parameter for RSSI. As you can see, we just reached about 4.6 miles. I can't remember if it was 4.5 or 4.6 miles, but I ended up just putting it in return to home mode because it actually lost signal entirely. There's something wrong with my Dragon Link. I'm not quite sure what. Limits it to about 5 miles-ish. I've hit this boundary a couple of times, and it doesn't... it kind of runs out of signal. Luckily, this is, once again, using the Profi CNC Cube Orange. So, in-train is also enabled. I enabled it a couple weeks ago, and I love it. I didn't think I would, but I'm not anxious anymore about it getting too low, because where I am off the ground is around, I'd say... let's just say it's a lot lower than where I am right now, and there's this little mountain, so I'm not worried about it hitting the ground anymore when it's coming back home to me. So it's going to stay a specific distance above the ground. As you can see, just right there, it was kind of weird that it went up and then down, because it was trying to keep the same distance above the ground, which is kind of neat. And then you can see here, I put it back into fly-by-wire A, and when I did this flight, it was like 7:30 at night, and the time of shooting it, or the date that I was shooting it, there are 2 or 3 wildfires in Colorado where I live, so it's really hazy, and it pretty much looks like golden hour, all 12 hours of the daylight. So that's definitely pretty interesting. It's beautiful, but it definitely still smells like fire and stuff, which is a little bit annoying, but you can see just how beautiful it is, and I'm really happy with how the RunCam Split 3 picked up that video. And you can see that I also sped it up a little bit, just because it would be a really long video anyway, and no one wants to see just a bunch of random flying around. So I just tried to show you the really pretty parts. I'm climbing up to I'll just say undisclosed altitude, um, to see if I can get a pretty cool view. You can see the sun, believe it or not, that little dot right above the mountain there, that is the sun, which is ridiculous. Like you can look almost straight at it and not like go blind. So it's definitely pretty cool. So I'm still climbing up. Sorry that the OSD got out of sync with the actual video. I did have my laptop set up on the ground, by the way, so I was actively monitoring the airspace around me, and there were no planes, not even any commercial planes, because once again, this Cube Orange does have ADS-B in, so it will actively avoid airplanes. One thing that I thought was really cool was that in my goggles, I have the Attitude V5s, the Fat Shark Attitude V5s, and it has an OLED panel, meaning that the LEDs can fully turn off, meaning you have true blacks, and you could really see the contrast in the mountains or in contrast with the sky, which was really useful. Or not, I guess not useful, but it was cool to see. So as you can see, I just now reached that very legal 398.8 feet, which is pretty cool. And now I'm just kind of flying around. You can see how gorgeous those mountains are. I did a video not too long ago of flying somewhere back in there. I pretty much just threw the plane off a cliff, and it was good stuff. Got some good video. But somewhere around here, I will warn you, I kind of nosedive it to lose altitude, because you can see the battery voltage is around 14.6 at 45%, which is, not super high. So it's about around this point I was thinking about getting down to the ground, but also, enjoying that pretty ridiculous altitude. So sorry that it's a little bit shaky. I've been practicing putting it in manual mode and flying around in manual mode and just getting used to the raw controls, just because I feel like I'm cheating when I use fly-by-wire A, which realistically I am. It's not like I feel like it is straight up cheating, but that has been a really good crutch for me to learn on and learn how to fly these planes. So you can see that I kind of tumbled it into the ground, which was kind of funny, and then did some rolls, which was fun. Also, this is not a good example of flying manual. I'm not actually like this horrible at it. At least I don't think so. I probably am, but I'm pretty sure I actually tried. Those were just like some barrel rolls. I tried. Yep. So here's a little roll, and I think I did a second one. Yeah, and then I almost stall. The nice thing about the Dart XL, though, is that it won't actually go to a full brake when you're stalling. It'll pretty much just kind of tip over and then resume flying. And I don't know if that's the different flight characteristics of a slower moving plane, or like a lighter plane rather than a real one, but a Cessna or something like that definitely stalls a lot differently. Like it'll like shake, and it's definitely more delayed, and that's probably once again due to the size of it. But you can see that we're nearing into the ground, still pretty much nosediving at it, and then I cut over to this final approach because I just flew around for a little bit, and I've been working on these and trying to do some good landings and not cut the throttle too early, and just do a nice little flare. So I was pretty happy with that landing. But anyways, have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.